welcome to our first edition of Facebook Feedback, where we take all of our Facebook comments, and this week, a big one on texting and driving. Joining with us now, Kirsten Swanson, News Center 1, reporter and anchor. And you did cover the story about texting and driving in Pennington County, how it's now going to cost you.
Correct.
Now, when you were investigating the story, what did you find?
We found a lot of confusion from a lot of different places, which was expected, just because this is an ordinance that covers the county. And what that means is essentially when you're out on the highway, they can get you. But as soon as you get into the city limits of any city in Pennington County, Hill City, Keystone, Rapid City, you're effectively off limits, which of course makes it difficult for law enforcement to really, get that jurisdiction down and to really enforce that law. And we found a lot of law enforcement agencies, specifically the Sheriff's Office, were very still confused by this.
Yeah, because, some of the Facebook comments got brought up of, how are you going to know that I was texting? Obviously we know when you're speeding because they have it clocked, but the texting, you could just throw your phone down and say, I wasn't texting.
Absolutely, and that brought up the point too. I talked to one of the county commissioners who had really spearheaded this from the beginning, and he kind of blatantly said it was easier to get texting and driving passed rather than an all-out distracted driving, where you could get pulled over for eating your fast food or the bowl of cereal, or women putting makeup on, because we all know that there are things that we do in the car that can cause accidents. And of course you can be ticketed after an accident for careless or distracted driving. There's just no preactive way to for law enforcement to enforce that. And that's true across South Dakota. That's not just here in Pennington County or in western South Dakota.
It's kind of like just a heads up as to stop eating your taco.
Exactly, and the biggest thing I think this ordinance did, and that they really wanted it to do, was to get people's attention. Say this is a very reckless thing to do. Across the country, there's other states even that have implemented no texting and driving or no cell phone use at all, just because it is very dangerous. If you're not paying attention to the road, something happens, you can cause accidents.
And I think a lot of our Facebook fans agreed. For instance, Carrie said, it's about time, I like this. And Emily commented, personally, I think it should be common sense. It shouldn't have to be illegal. And then Bobby said, so what about dialing a phone number? I personally have not seen the ordinance, but if it's just texting, how are they sure, before they pull them over, what are you exactly doing?
Right,
so
exactly.
Bringing up some good points there. So where do you see this ordinance going in the future?
You know what? The county commissioners have clearly stated, and they actually, in the same meeting that they passed this ordinance, also passed just kind of a common blanketed, we support a distracted driving ordinance statewide, or a law statewide. And so I think this is something that we're going to be able to watch really in the next legislative session here in South Dakota, to see if any of these state senators really bring that to the table and really, make this a blanketed thing across South Dakota. That would really solve a lot of the jurisdiction problems, and also really get to the point of what exactly are you outlawing? Is it using a cell phone? Is it texting? Is it, dialing that number, or putting on, makeup, eating fast food, everything like that.
Absolutely. And you can also go to our Facebook page, make sure to give us a good like, and you could comment as well. Thanks again, Kirsten, for joining us today, and make sure to join us next week for an edition of Facebook Feedback.